my neighborhood has two group chats, one for moms and one for dads. And
Oh,
when
interesting.
yeah, when the July electricity bills hit, they were so high that both group chats were talking about it. It was the rare subject that animated both group chats. And so there's a lot of frustration and confusion about why the bills were so high. And I think that matches a nationwide trend. Electricity prices are up about 5% nationwide. President Trump is blaming renewable energy sources like wind and solar, which in a post he called the scam of the century. Uh, are renewable energy sources the reason why electricity bills are so high?
No, as you might imagine, most of the things that President Trump says when he's blaming somebody are not true. And so it's pretty easy to understand that whatever he's saying about electricity prices is probably also not true. What actually is causing electricity prices to be high is no surprise the company that sends you the bill. It's the utility companies. The big thing is that utility companies make really excessive profits. In most states, the amount of profit the utility company makes is set by some sort of state agency, and they've been able to game that system for decades to get overpaid. Basically, they spend $100 on a new building or a new pole or a new wire, they get $10 back in profits. And the more they build, the more they profit. The other thing, though, that's true is that, and this is why you see Trump weighing in on this, is of course his administration has been busy dismantling a whole bunch of programs from the Biden administration under the Inflation Reduction Act that were meant to lower electricity prices by bringing in more wind and solar and clean sources that have for a long time been the least cost way that we have to produce electricity. So unfortunately, we're blaming the best tool that we have. And in fact, one of the things that is the most effective at reducing electricity prices would be unleashing lots of local rooftop solar, community solar, like solar in our communities near where we use energy, and batteries that would allow it to be flexible based on when we're able to use that energy. There have been studies showing we could save $500 billion across the country as we transition to cleaner energy sources by building more of those. And utilities, because they profit from building and owning stuff themselves generally, don't want that stuff to get built. And so they're busy blocking it. They're being aided by the Trump administration, which is cutting the incentives and the programs that were meant to encourage these kinds of low cost resources. So it's kind of a double whammy. People are getting slapped lots of different ways here. You've got utilities having very high profit margins. You have them blocking stuff that would be effective at lowering costs. And then, of course, on top of that, you have data centers, which everybody's hearing about, are going to do a number on our system in terms of increasing electricity demand, which, of course, again, makes it necessary to respond to build more infrastructure. And if you do that the way that utilities like to do that, you do it the most expensive way you can.